What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Thought Provoking Podcast, Season 2. I'm your host, Will Brown, and I got some special guests in the building. My brother, you like to introduce yourself?
Yo, my name is Jarek Blevins, man. JB, Blev, from the Harbor. You know what it is.
Harbor, man. The other side of town.
Man, the right side, the best side. You know what it is.
I know that's right, my brother. Introduce yourself, lady.
Hi, I'm Lashia Elliott. I'm from Hammond.
Oh, yeah, Hammond, Indiana.
HMD in the house.
It used to go down in Hammond, too. I like
Hammond. I like Hammond a little bit.
So I got some special guests in here. I'm glad that I got y'all because y'all both be on the ones and twos with the food. But before we get into the topic, I want to ask you guys a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate yourself mentally and business-wise, if you want to throw that out there?
Mentally, bro, I think I'm like at a 6.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's below average, right? It'd be tough, man. I think just coming out of COVID and everything, I think all of us had a little bit of mental health that we needed some help with. You know, we all got aspirations and goals and different places we want to be in life. And it's probably the same for business. Like we keep going, you know, we make it look good, but you know, it'd be tough sometimes. So yeah, probably like a 6.8, maybe a little closer to 7. Yeah.
What would you say can be done to get you from a 6 and a little higher?
Bro, personal development, just doing stuff for you, blocking out the noise a little bit. That's been important, man. I gave myself a goal the next 60 days, just some type of personal development. I don't care what it is. If I take a knife class at Ivy Tech, John Maxwell, public speaking, whatever, you know, just something, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's getting back in the gym, you know what I'm saying? I think that anything that can keep you sharp. And even like I was telling you, like for Lent, I gave up a hard alcohol, so only wine. So, you know what I'm saying? Just to kind of keep some type of to discipline, you know.
I like the fact that you did self-evaluation too. That's something that a lot of people are missing. You know, they suffer behind closed doors without looking at a solution to it. Instead of staying in that place, you done already figured out what you need to do and you got solutions to it. So I like that, my brother. What about you, lady?
I'm gonna say a 5.5.
5.5. Mm-hmm. Mentally?
Mentally.
Okay.
Yep. My mental state goes up and down a lot. Just life, period. So I'll say a 5.5. On a good day, I'll say a 7.5.
Okay. What about business?
Business wise, I'm all over the place right now.
All over the place. Okay.
But I'll say a 6. I'm talking to some people now that's in like the same kind of industry as me. So they're kind of, you know, filling my cup. So I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident about the things that I'm doing. So I'll say a 6 right now.
When you feel yourself at the 6 or below, did you have the confidence out the gate to reach out to somebody?
No, they actually reached out to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They actually reached out to me. It's usually people reach out to me at the right time. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 mentally, I would say I'm at a strong 8. Things are good in my life right now. I've implemented some change in my life, things that I know I was struggling with. And I would say when it comes to business, I would say I'm at a strong 7. It goes up and down for me too, but being excited about new business ventures that you got on the horizon and things that are in place, I'm feeling real good with that. So I'm in a good space right now. So today's topic will be, has your childhood affected your relationship? And when it comes to relationship, it could be anything. It could be between you and your kids. It could be boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, co-workers, whatever that means to you. But I always like to give people a little topic that kind of shake things up. So I'm going to throw this out to the both of y'all. On social media, what is the one thing that gets on your goddamn nerves? Social media.
Man, that's a lot to choose from.
It is.
The one thing? Man, I don't let social media bother me that much, honestly. But, yeah, I attention-seeking stuff, like, man, let me go live while I'm crying.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you need help. The GoFundMe sometime, like, just, yeah, I be desensitized to my hood, man.
Yes.
to my people sometimes. So yeah, that's my only little I don't know. My only little issue. I don't really have. Yeah, I'm cool on social media.
Don't affect you.
I
as
use
much,
it
but
for
you
what
do
it's
spot.
supposed to be used for. I feel. Yeah, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, lady?
I hate the people that jump on when you have something positive on there, they have nothing to say. But when you have something negative, they ready. Yeah, they go to bat for that negativity. So
Most definitely.
that's definitely my pet peeve.
I gotta
One
get
of them.
I gotta get this to y'all. The one that gets on my goddamn nerves. The people that say pray for me. Don't ask what's going on.
Just do.
Don't ask.
Now that don't even bother me. The one that gets under my skin is I don't know what's going on, but I'ma pray for you. Obviously, none of us know. Because
Right.
goddamn it, they didn't list what the hell was going on.
Right,
So
right.
we didn't need you to say that. That's like they lied for you to say, oh, well, this is what's going on. Like,
Right.
obviously, if they wanted to tell it to you, they would have told it to you. That's the one that get under my skin.
So yeah, man, you just made me think of another one that it pisses me off for real. If I post a flyer with every detail needed in the flyer, if it says the location, if it says the time, if it says the attire, if it says where to order, if it says what time, don't go asking me all them questions right after I post the flyer. Well, when is it? Send the flyer.
Yeah, read the flyer.
How much
Well,
is
what
it?
time it start?
Send the flyer.
And the flyer, man. So come on, y'all. Just reading is fundamental. We got to do better with that. That if you could see my inbox, yeah, bro. I have to, Really, I ignore a lot of people on just, not being academic. I don't know what school you in. Just read. Just read. You'll get all the information you need if you read. So yeah.
Now, with y'all both being chefs, have y'all experienced this? Like you just said, the details are laid out.
Yeah.
Common sense, read. When they don't read and they ask you, and let's say you say, refer to the flyer or the information that's already posted, do they get an attitude?
Most definitely.
I don't know. I don't even
You don't
have
go back
time.
and
No, I don't go back and forth with nobody on social media. It's in the flyer. That's all you get. Yeah. I'm sure some people be upset, but like, that's
I
all
think it's
got.
about them having that special attention sometimes. I'm noticing that a lot. Like, people just want to feel important. And it's okay, but sometimes I can't, stop my day to tell you something that's right in front of your face.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Yeah.
It's common fucking sense. I
Yep.
see it all the time, and that's one thing I got to work on. So I said this in another episode. Being professional. A lot of things I got to, like y'all, just blow stuff off or ignore certain people. But I engage. So when you get on my page and you say something that's out of pocket, like, I go back and forth with you. So I need to go ahead and start ignoring some of that stuff, pick up on some of y'all traits right there. So, but I'm human, working on it. Y'all ready to get off into this thing? Has your childhood affected your relationship? Anybody want to take that first?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
most
dive in.
definitely. Most definitely. In all aspects of life, my childhood has affected all of my relationships with my children, sibling wise, just everything. Because sometimes you grow and your family doesn't. Some morals that our parents taught us, they just went by what they knew. Sometimes they didn't, they just went by what was told to them. And I'm not saying it was right or it was wrong, but they just made it fit for them at that moment. And I'm trying to relearn a lot of those things that my parents taught me, because I feel like it doesn't apply to me. It doesn't apply to this generation, parenting as well. I try to put myself in my children's shoes sometimes, and I try not to judge right away. I'm very lenient. Oh, can't even talk. I'm very lenient. Goodness. Yeah, with the kids. Because I try to understand them a little bit more, because there was time when my parents did not try to get an understanding. They just jumped to conclusion. They just jumped to punishment. They just jumped to, discipline, but they never tried to understand. So I try to be a little bit more understanding than my parents were to me.
deep right there.
Yeah.
As you go back and forth with what your parents, pushed on you, and is it a struggle to say, am I doing enough, or am I actually getting this right? Because you could tell yourself in the sense that, well, my parents didn't do this right, my parents didn't do that right, I'm gonna do it this way, and then you may see a different result out of your kids that you didn't necessarily expect, meaning a negative side. Do you ever go back and forth to say, well, damn, maybe I kind of need to go back to what my parents instilled in me?
A lot of times I do go back to the basics.
Okay.
I'll go back to the basics sometimes, but sometimes I try to, discipline wise, I try to talk.
Well,
Sometimes I talk too much, and I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I talk too much, but I try not to use physical force, as they call it, on my children that much, because I tend to get angry when I see people lift their hand up at me like I'm ready to box now. You get what I'm saying? Because I know, what that did to me. So, yeah, that's just my outtake of.
That's pretty deep, though. What about you, my brother?
Yeah, of course, man. I think, does my childhood affect my relationships today? I think your childhood, like, it shapes and it molds everything about you, right? So the relationship you have with your parents, they say it's different in the South, right? Like, I've been to the South recently. It's yes, ma'am. It's yes, sir. If you go to New Orleans, hey, what's up, baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, they treat you like that. The little things that we say even are different. The way we treat people, the way we talk to each other. So, man, I think our relationships or our childhood, whether we grew up in church, whether we went to the Boys and Girls Club, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knew Mr. O, you know what I'm saying? We respect that was a black Boys and Girls Club male director in our community. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was huge. So when we grow up now, we got to start filling them positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in our city now, it's kind of sad, man. I ain't trying to shift gears, but our basketball,
Oh yeah,
bro,
totally
like
different.
we Biddy ball growing up, bro. You could hoop anywhere. You could leave the house and hit 12 courts, and they was all good hoops. Like, so yeah, man. Like, I think, and I don't even want to use the word affect in a negative manner. Like, it doesn't have to be negative. It affected positively.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I had a great childhood. And I feel like, man, it's time to be that adult now and to create the relationships that I had with great adults with the next generation.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna switch mine up a little bit. My childhood definitely shaped the man that I am now when it comes to my relationship with my kids. So a little backstory: growing up, I have 3 older sisters, and then my father had a daughter on the side. That didn't affect me. I was cool with that. Like, what I'm gonna do about the situation. But
Okay, pops.
he did his thing. Oh, tell you how cold blooded he was. He did it on the same block
Oh yeah,
that we lived
wow.
in. Same block. So the thing that got me was me growing up. I was in the projects. My older sisters growing up, when it was their time, my father worked in the steel mill, so we had the Cosby lifestyle. Had the house, they had the vacations, all of that. When I became, into the world or whatever, the drug era in the steel mill is what he got hooked on. That forced us to lose everything. That's how I landed in the projects. So the whole Cosby lifestyle, I never got a chance to experience. My father battled to the day he died this drug addiction. It was off and on. 1 minute you clean, the next minute, you back to it. The next, now you're in church and all of this kind of stuff. And the one thing that I always looked at was, damn, I'm always getting the short end of the stick where I'm the kid on the court playing basketball waiting on my dad. Now he doesn't show up. So in my mind, when I tell my kids something, I have to get this done. Because I never want them to feel that hurt that I felt of an empty promise. Oh, I'm coming. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm not a person that smokes. I don't drink. few episodes, you may see me drink wine, or I like to call them the girly drinks. That's my thing, because you give me some real liquor, I'm out. Like, I'm a lightweight. That's not my thing. But I chose to go that route strictly because of his drug addiction. And the one thing that always stood out to me, and I never talked about this ever before, my mother told me at one point that I had a family member who asked the question, well, his father was on drugs. Do you think he's going to turn out that way? And when I heard that, that was something that always stuck with me. So I always tried to make sure that I was on a straight and narrow and never be looked at as what he was. Now, not to say that he didn't do great things and people didn't love him and things of that nature, but, you know, a lot of times people just want to see the good in you.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, no, this shaped my vision of, I can't be like this. I have to do so much better. And I think sometimes I try and go overboard with the buy-in and making sure that I hit everything when it comes to being a parent. You know, I'm your therapist if you need me, and I'm the friend, and you know, but I'm the parent. I try and hit everything that I didn't get. So that relationship with my father molded my mindset on being a parent.
Wow.
So that was one that kind of like, you know, became a real thing for me.
Yeah.
Y'all got any more stories of?
Man, bro, I just thought that was powerful. You just talked about how how your father affected you in a way to be better, right? The next generation should always be better. One of my favorite books is Letters to a Young Brother by Hill Harper. And the premise of the book is pretty much talking about how when car companies make a new edition, they make everything to be better than the previous edition, right? So the younger you are, the better you should be. My kids should be better than I was. Their kids should be better than they was. Now, with that being said, you always gonna have timeless classics. Everybody like an old school, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, don't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, be firm in who you are. But, bro, man, I thought that was powerful, and it made me just think about my relationship with my dad, right? And affection, especially for like young boys and young men. I remember when I was a kid, like I used to kiss my dad all the time, run to him, hug him, kiss him. And then it got to, you know, they call it the toxic masculinity nowadays, right? It got to a point where it might have been 10 or 11, where your uncles and your dads and the older men in your family, they say, man, you got to cut that out, bro. Like, ain't no kissing your daddy, ain't no kissing. After 10, the only physical touch that you should be having as a young male should be sexual, or that's what they give us, right? That's what the community give us. That's what our uncles give us. Like, I don't know a lot of grown men that still kiss their dads. I know a few, right? Like, still hug my pops, like still do, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that though? You know, like, after you 10, 11, 12, you need to be going to kiss on a little girl, bro. Don't be kissing on me. Like, and I thought that, yeah, bro, it made me think about that when you talked about your pops. Like, just trying to make the next generation better. And I think that's one of the reasons, like, I kind of always wanted a son. I had 2 girls. Like, y'all both talked about y'all kids. I ain't mentioned not mine, but shout out to my 2 daughters.
Shout out.
Lily and Indigo, what up? Daddy made it.
That's a powerful thing when it comes to these relationships, when it comes to parents. And that's what's dope about the Thought Provoking podcast. I try and find subjects that people could relate to. And also, as people watch it and view it, they say, wow, I didn't know that this person went through this. But, you know, they can always look at themselves and say, I got work to do. I got a lot of stories, even, you know, going beyond parents, the environment that I grew up in. That right there was something that was powerful, because growing up in East Chicago, Indiana, he's from the Harbor, I'm from West Calumet. Overall, our 2 sides of town,
Rivals.
rivals,
Yep.
didn't get along. People on his side of town, not here no more. People on my side of town, not here no more. But it shaped my mind to where I had so much pride from where I was from. I'm sure he had so much pride.
To this day.
Exactly.
To this day.
That's
like,
a real
straight
thing.
up. Yeah, nah.
But you don't realize that the environment you grew up in, you in low income and I'm in low income because you got low income. Not because you balling.
Right.
You don't stay in Beverly Hills, but you take so much pride.
We lived in Prairie Park.
It's the hood. Yeah, my brother. You know, his dad was a steel mill worker. You know, they had no money over there. But, you know.
We built a home in Prairie Park.
Yeah, you
No,
know. But it shaped my mind to where
That's real.
I had to realize as I got older, well, wait a minute. I'm holding on to the projects in the hood,
Bro,
but this is low income. You don't have anything when you're here. And you understand, you know, people that have to live in these environments, but what we don't get back to saying, keeping it real with each other, the projects was a stepping stone to get back on your feet, get back in the world, and do better.
Right.
Get more. But nowadays, we just hold on to it like, my granny's granny was here.
Right.
Now, my mother's still there. I'm still here because that's all I know.
That's all you know,
and some people will never experience life beyond
Outside of that,
this small area. And then when you break that mindset and you get outside of that, now, you think you better.
Yeah, most definitely.
You always thought you was better.
Yeah.
See, that's why we don't really fuck with you.
Yeah. I got that just by moving from Hammond to Maryville.
Oh, shit.
It was crazy. I'm like, I'm just down 65. What you talking about? Like, oh, you think you better than somebody because you moved to Maryville? It's like, no, I just feel like my children need a different environment. And it's okay if I want to take them and put them in a different place.
Most definitely.
You know, and that's fine. Like, one of my daughters was fighting. Well, my middle daughter was fighting and all that other stuff. It's like, no, come on, we got to take you somewhere else.
Time to go.
Yeah. Not to say that she, you know, she was all right when she got here, but it was just, you know, hey, come on, let's try to get you in a different, you know, vision and let you see other things.
Have y'all heard of any stories that from friends or family members that you can share, they were affected by their childhood and you can see it in them as adults?
Oh,
Most
I don't know about hearing stories, but I still got. I mean, you got the mama's boys. You know what I'm saying? You 46 and you still need. You know what I'm saying? She's still booking your doctor's appointments. Like, what's up? You know, like, yeah, we all got that cousin. We all got those people around us. Yeah, enabling stuff, and I think it's hard for, especially people who want to get in relationships or want to, you know, move on or get married, because your wife is gonna have to take on the role of your mother too, and that's not, you know, that ain't cool. Like, yeah, you was a son, but now you a husband, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, you gotta take you a sip before you get into yours. I heard that. Go on, give us some real tea. Say their name, their address, what city. Say it all.
You funny. No, I have a lot of family members like that. That's just and I'm not gonna point the finger at everybody because I still have some characteristics that, you know, I'm a mama's girl. I'm running a mama, like, and sometimes we don't see eye to eye, but I'm still running to my mom. I don't care what it is. And I had to realize that I was being very codependent with my mom, and that was another reason why I moved. Because I was like, hey, I count on you too much. You save me too much. And even though, you know, I work and I do the things that I do, my grandmother and my mother always saved me. So I didn't drown that much. They'll let me sink a little bit. But when they see me sinking a little bit too much, they always ran for me. I was like, hey, I have to get up out of this mindset where I need you, that you guys have to come and save me all the time. I got to figure it out. So I'm pointing at myself too, you know, like I have some flaws and everything. Yeah, with my childhood and being coddled. So
Did you come to that conclusion just by yourself sitting there doing reflection on yourself, or did someone else have to point that out to you?
Oh no, I figured it out by myself. Just the patterns that I was going through. Left home, came back, left home, came back, and before I even bought the house that I have now, I was in my mother's 1-bedroom apartment with her and my 3 kids and my grandma. And that was my safe place. But I was like, hey, I put myself in this mindset where, hey, I have this amount of time to do what I need to do to get where I need to be. and I set that goal, and I made that accomplishment. Like it was cool. But then my mom was like, "You're moving too far. You're taking my grandkids," and I'm like, "Hey, I don't need that right now. I'm in the mindset of detaching myself from you because I'm grown. I don't need you to always come to my rescue. I know you don't want to see me suffering, but I don't need you to always come to my rescue. I got to figure it out."
That's a powerful thing right there. I'm gonna give y'all something that's kind of explosive. I want to know your opinion after the story, being a woman. So I got a homeboy who had a discussion with me, and he said that it's hard for him to trust women. He don't trust any of them.
I understand.
He like them. They can rock with each other up until a certain point.
He don't like men, do he?
No,
Okay.
He's straight with the women.
He cool, bro.
But
You know
he
what
said
I'm saying?
his
No.
story came from his father walking in on his mom while they lived together, and another man was in there
Nah,
mowing
man.
around the begonia bush, as the old folks say.
Bro, his father walked in.
His father walked in and
Wow.
heard what was going on.
Okay.
So
okay.
he
Yeah.
knew and was man enough to just turn right back around.
Bro, that's
and go.
Yeah.
Bro, you strong.
He did it.
Wow.
Because everybody would have, yeah.
And
Yeah,
he was
that
in
day.
the house when it happened. He
Wow.
was in the house. So
The kid, your
the
boy.
kid. So when he saw it, it shaped his mind to say, well, damn, if my mama in here doing it,
Yeah, facts. I mean,
every woman got to be
and-
about this.
Yeah, that's crazy because that's how that's what mindset I've been in. I've been in that mindset. My dad had a few outside kids.
Shout out to you. No.
Yes, shout out to Pops. He was doing his thing. That's his business.
pops, man.
Hey.
But I don't, no grudges held. Yeah, so I had a hard time trusting, even being married. My husband, yeah, I married another version of my father, but that's another story for another day.
Episode 3 of the Thought Provoker podcast.
Yeah, so trusting. My trust issues is horrible. I sit around and act like they okay, but my trust issues are horrible. Why? Because I saw my father do the things that he did. And I don't trust nobody really, but I still kind of like deal with it. You know what I mean? I try to put in my mind, hey, that's not your scenario. You can't suffer from that because it's not your space. So yeah.
So from that, have you at any point been that woman that says, this too good to be true? A guy comes into your life and he checks off every box that you're looking for. And because he checks these boxes, you sit there and say, this too good to be true.
No, because I took myself out of that mindset to say, hey, you have to believe, especially if it's something that you've been praying for, you've been asking for, like you have to believe that that's what it is. Like if you pray for something, just be prepared to receive it. Mm-hmm. And like I said, that situation is my mom and dad's situation is not my situation. So I had to, embed that in my head. Yep.
Y'all got anything positive that came from a childhood experience that you carry on in your adult life?
Hustle mentality.
Hustle mentality. Mm-hmm. I love it when it comes from a woman, boy. I love it.
I just think the protection and the provision. Like my dad was he was the epitome of a provider. Mm-hmm. Like we didn't need or want for nothing. The lights was never off. We had, got the crib built. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to level up for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Trying to put stuff in their name. One of my goals is to give my biggest daughter a rental property when she turned 18.
Beautiful.
She gonna get her car when she's 16, all of that stuff. But we gonna have some stuff in place. That's gonna give her some responsibility, you know what I'm saying, that's going to test her, and that's going to, ultimately show what her hustle is, and then create a opportunity for her to establish some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, like with the next generation, the money, wealth, generational wealth. Yeah, some generational wealth for her next group, you know what I'm saying, so.
My oldest sister was considered like the financial breadwinner of our entire family. Family didn't come from money, any of that kind of stuff. She was a flight attendant. Her and her husband made a life. They moved from East Chicago to Georgia, had several houses. lived a good life. They vacationed somewhere everywhere, and they just basically did everything that I would look at and say, I don't have to just deal with what I see in the hood.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can really travel there if she was in the house with me and I see her experiencing this life, I know what's out there for
Right.
me. And a person that will be willing to give you the type of advice that you need to achieve these different things. So I would look at her scenario, the family life and all of that, and say, I could achieve that. Because, where we grew up at, a lot of times that whole family dynamic is not highlighted. It's
Yeah.
more so, well, mom and daddy ain't together no more. Older brother just screwing all the women, or sister out here just, whatever she doing. I got a chance to see up close in person, like, the lifestyle I could potentially live.
Right.
And I achieved it. Got out of high school, went straight into the steel mill, working, making my money. Always made sure that, I didn't have to depend on anybody else. And, so I got that positive influence from my oldest sister to say, like, oh, I know. Because it's one thing for you to see shit on TV. You don't know these people.
Right.
These are celebrities and movies and
Right.
people that you're not going to interact with one-on-one.
First-hand
So to have
experience.
somebody that you can at least look to, pick up the phone and have that conversation with, that was something that was big for me in my life. So you got anything else?
One thing my parents definitely taught me: always have a second hustle. Like just always, don't always depend on your 9 to 5, because you just never know when that is going to. You can get fired any day. Just use your skills. My dad is a mechanic. Like he get fired from a job, but he always kept money in his pocket because I'm gonna go fix on the car. So I definitely inherit that from him. And my mom, she's always been a worker. When she was working, she was always a worker. So yeah, keep the money flowing in.
That's pretty dope parents. I like that.
Yeah,
Brother, you got anything you want to add to whether it's good or bad, that you could think of?
Yeah. Positive, right? Whether it's good or negative. Yeah, set me up again. Rephrase the question, bro. Go ahead.
I'll go and throw my example, and you could
Okay.
flow off of that.
Cool.
I turned a negative into a positive.
Okay.
Growing up, just something as simple as this. We didn't grow up in a household where my mother was saying, oh, I love you. Something as simple as good morning. Now, you would think, okay, maybe the I love you thing may be a little, but good morning.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. My mother would greet us by conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, you came in the house late. You must have had a good time.
Yeah.
That's your good morning.
greeting.
Right.
So I carried that into relationships that I had as an adult, where I would, just wake up and just start talking like, yeah, so, last night was cool.
Right.
And, we that's my
Right.
good morning to you. And it started being pointed out like, dang, you can't say good morning or whatever. There was a particular time that a so-called beef happened between me and an individual from my own neighborhood. And I never forget that my cousin said, let me know when you get home. Text me and, let me know.
Yeah.
And I did. I was like, oh, I got home, cuz. And she was like, okay, cool. I love you. And I didn't know what to say back.
Yeah.
I was looking at the
weird.
phone like, what? Oh, okay, cool. And then we end up having that conversation later. So now when it comes to like my kids, I make sure I tell them I love you, good night. I end up having conversations. How was your day? It's not just, I'm just going to talk my way into a good morning. I actually said, good morning.
Right.
And it's funny because my youngest son, very affectionate. I've never been that way.
Yeah.
I never was the type that hug and kiss. And, in my relationship, my youngest, it turned all that around for me to where now I embrace it. So, I had to turn a negative into a positive. And that was, I'm assuming, that's what she was taught. She had to have got it from my grandmother. Cause, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, something as simple as good morning.
Yeah. So I could relate to that a lot. Like, I don't think I've ever seen my dad kiss my mom. Right? Like, but he was the A1 provider.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And protector. When nothing finna happen to us. So it's like, when you get in relationships, like romantically. When you get older, it's like, man, you know, I paid for the food. Like, shut up. You want me to do what? Like, if we ain't, you know, in the bedroom, like, what else do you want? You know, so that was something that I had to kind of grow to learn. Like, you know, little touches on the thigh in the car means something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me get a hug. Let my hand rub down your back real quick. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff, the subtle intricacies of intimacy, bro. Like, you know, I've learned that from, you know, taking the negative and turning it into a positive. Because, you know, I mean, especially with COVID, I think after COVID, everybody needed a hug.
Damn,
physical touch is important.
Right.
I mean, for everybody. Like, yeah. So, yeah, that's my take on that.
Beautiful thing, man. The negative things that shaped your relationships being an adult. Have y'all ever tried to go back and have these conversations with any individual? Like, if it's a parent or a friend or,
I
you know, have y'all, because we grown now, but at the same time, you know, you don't really want to be like, you was a shit mama, you was a shit daddy. You know, you don't want to come off like that.
I set my parents down.
Yeah,
I set my parents down. I set my siblings down. Hey, I'm grown now. Like, I set my boundaries now. I'm not in your house anymore. You know, like me and my dad kind of got into it. And because he came in my house, I'm like, hold on a minute. This mine's right here. You know, I don't see none of your name on these bills. Like, let's, you know, take it up back outside, come back in. Let's redo this. And he was, you being disrespectful. I'm like, no, it's not, you know, being egotistical or being prideful. But like, no, this is my house now. You have to respect my rules. And if you can't, then I'll send your grandkids outside to you. And this is a real conversation I had. I'll send your grandkids outside to you for you to see them. You don't have to come up in here because I want respect.
And you're old that.
And I'm old that. My mom, like I said, I had the conversation with her. I always was a people pleaser with her and my grandmother. And I said, hey, let me do my thing. Y'all did y'all thing. Let me do my thing. So, yeah, I sat down. My brother, he's always been very overprotective of me. Hey, when I need you, I'll call you. You don't have to come and, you know, cool out, chill out now. You know, if you taught me what you taught me, just know that I'm going to take those skills and I'm going to apply it to my life. Like, chill out. It's cool. So.
What about you, my brother?
Bro.
Now, first off, your dad's name in the steel mill was the dog. And people knew, don't fuck with him.
Don't fuck with dog, man. You know what I'm saying? My dad was dog in the steel mill. My big brother in the steel mill, now they call him Puppy. So shit, if I go, I don't know what they gonna Shaggy, Scooby, I don't know. But nah, man, I ain't never sit down nobody, man. It's crazy that, like, I feel like my dad did it on his own. He respects me. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm spoiled too. Okay. Like, my dad still make my plate. Still cook for me. Like, that's where I think I like to serve and I like to entertain. Like, it comes from that, you know. So yeah, if he come to the restaurant, you ain't gotta pay. He gonna pay double. If my mama comes, she just gonna come in the kitchen. Right? Like, it's just a different dynamic. If my dad asked to need to use my car or wanted me to run him somewhere, he filling up my tank and giving me another fill up on the side. Here go a little some of your pocket. It's different with you know what I'm saying? So the dynamic is different, but I thought my dad was the meanest dude when I was little, dog. Thought he was the meanest, bro. Like, I'm finna tell you a story, dog. So I went to Spirit of God, right? Shout out to my Garrett people. Went to Spirit of God. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know where that's at. And right across the street from Arts Bakery. Bro, Arts Bakery, that's another story. But anyway, fire. Bro, they used to paddle, and like, they didn't tolerate nothing. It was really like a private school, but they was like on the next level. Like, I remember going from Spirit of God to Franklin in the 5th grade, and I was like, "This what y'all learning? I learned this in the 2nd." But you know, they was paying for private school, so it was different. But anyway, they used to paddle people. They didn't tolerate stuff, so we had maybe like a group of kids that was laughing and playing, and they was like, "Hey, yeah, whole row in the hallway, paddles." Then it wasn't a teacher. We had like a teacher that was like, "And we getting Mr. Davis." Like, it was like, dog, big burly. So I'm like, dog, that was them. I ain't taking no paddle, nigga. Like, straight up. Bro, I got suspended. So I get suspended. We stayed in Prairie Park, but I grew up like going to church. My church is St. Mark, right across the street from the police station. So I'm like 30 steps from home to the church. He taking me home like I'm finna beat your ass for getting suspended. And we stopped. Everybody knew when Pastor was at the church because his car was out there. He was like, you know what? I'm going to drop you off. You need to go in there and talk to your pastor because you out here fucking up, pretty much. He was like, and he better tell you something to make me not whoop your ass when you get home. Dog, I mean, my pastor had no energy for me, bro. To this day, I didn't like that. Like, he was like, I don't got time for this. Like, just tell me you ain't gonna do it no more. I ain't gonna do it no more. Right. I ain't got time for this. Bro, I walked, this was the slowest walk I walked home. I mean, the footsteps might have been right in front of each other. I think I walked backwards at one point. Yeah. My dad was waiting for me, like, when I got to the crib with a jogging outfit on, bro. He changed and everything. Dog, he had the basement door open, so I knew he was throwing me down the steps. So I'm like, dog, he was like, all right, now what'd he tell you to tell me to make me not whip your ass? I'm just crying like, he told me to tell you I'm not gonna do it no more. Bro, my daddy beat the shit out of me that day, bro. I'll never forget. Bro, it didn't work. Like, that's when I knew he was crazy too. That nigga, like, I think I got a hold of the belt somehow, jumped on the bed. That nigga was like, bro, I'm finna hit you with this desk if you don't come back over here. Like, he grabbed the desk and picked it up. Like, it wasn't a normal pickup, bro. This was like some Incredible Hulk stuff. And
he ain't no small man.
He not small, bro. So yeah, I just was like, man, let me just take this L. Yeah, and then the fucked up part about going to Spirit of God, in order to get reinstated, you have to take the paddle to get reinstated. So I should have just took it anyway. Regardless if I was a part of it, you see what I'm saying? Like, I should have just took it. But my dad was a no tolerance dude. But when I got older, bro, he handles us with the most care and the most respect that I have ever, bro, like, seriously. So that's, yeah. Thought he was mean. He was just, that was his love. Like I said, I ain't see him hug and kiss. But like now, bro, the affection comes in the way he treats us for sure. Like, it's definitely super dope. Yeah, that's my hero. Shout out to Pops.
Yes, sir. So I'll give y'all closing out the story of my father. I never got the opportunity to get that closure moment with my father.
Okay.
When I was a junior, he passed away. But 2 days, maybe 3 days tops before he passed, I was driving through my old neighborhood. I'm 17, got my second car, doing my thing. I spot him on a block that I know he shouldn't be on. Because on this block, it's going down. People making money. Mm-hmm. I spot him, so I just keep going. I'm like, obviously, he back to it. So I see him, like, waving his hands or whatever, and I'll just keep going.
He finally was in the Chevy?
I was in the Chevy. Yeah. Okay, you got a good memory,
bro.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Okay. Man, you might have been, trying to spot one of my women or something back then. What was going on outside of town, bro, man?
Man, come on now. I used to hoop. I had a pass.
Yeah, man.
A couple people let me through it. They let me in.
You was always a cool one, though.
Yeah, I ain't want no bullshit.
I passed this block, and he catches up to me. He said, man, you didn't see me back there? I'm a little older. I got this tension built up, kind of on some, you say the right thing, I might knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, yeah.
Understand.
So he pulls up and I say, yeah, I saw you or whatever. He said, well, why you ain't stopped? I said, well, I'm trying to figure out why you was where you was at in the first place. He totally ignores that part of the conversation. He don't hear that part. Mm-hmm. He says, hey, man, give me a few dollars. I said, I ain't got no money, man. Literally, this is what he said. You one broke son. That's what he said. Wow. Yeah. So now I'm a little older and, all this frustration of me missing out on the father, it's there now. Mm-hmm. So I replied back, you one broke ass daddy. And I pulled off. Because in my mind, had we stayed there and went back and forth, I was going to go ahead and make it do what it do. Like, this is my moment to go. I'm 17 now. Yeah. 3 days later, he died. Mm-hmm. 3 days later. And that was literally the last conversation that me and him had. Shockingly, I never felt bad behind it.
Wow.
I've told this story before. It's something that I will eventually share with my kids, but I've never had a moment where I sat there and was like, dang,
What if?
why end? I felt like shit. All right. Because in my mind, I was already mentally gone from that relationship. I had all those years of missing out, being robbed, being lied to, used, all of these different things. The whole, ooh, if you give me a couple dollars, I'll double it. Or, when I get my check, I'm going to do, that money ain't coming back. You know what he's going to do with that money and everything. And him living, I never got a chance to have that one-on-one. But what's crazy is, I don't remember how old I was, but I was in my late 20s somewhere in there, or mid 20s. I've never thought about my father. I've never felt like, I just always needed a daddy. That's never been my story. But one particular night I'll never forget, I had a dream. And in this dream, I never saw, it was just pitch black. I never saw my father's face. He never spoke to me, anything. But it's just pitch black. And I got my chance to express the hurt that I actually experienced through a dream.
Okay.
I don't know how I knew it was him.
You felt him,
but
though.
I felt
His
this
presence,
is the moment. And I expressed it all. I mean, literally, the things, literally, like I'm having this conversation, I'm saying word for word, like I was pissed about this and this was wrong. And, you did this and you did that. I woke back up and that was it. I've never had that moment ever again. I've never thought back on that moment. I felt whole after the situation. So him being alive, I never had that moment. But after the fact, I think I had that closure moment through a dream.
They say before people cross over, they come back and try to get their own closure. Yep.
So that was, a little tea that I've never shared with. I don't think I've ever shared that with anybody.
Wow.
I may have talked to my sister about it once, but that's about it. But
yeah, them dreams be real.
It's definitely powerful, especially when, I think that looking at how I am with my kids is what really triggered me to realize what I missed out on. Because again, typical guys, man, fuck him. I ain't need him. But in reality, them same fuck yous is really the I miss you. Yeah. I needed you. I want you.
You wasn't there.
But as a man, you can't,
express that. Yeah.
It's not manly to say that. So I think that's what that moment was for me. So, okay. Appreciate this conversation. Do you guys want to add to this one right here? Anything y'all want to
I just would like to add that I feel like it's a beautiful thing that you knew what not to be.
Yeah.
You had an example, but you made it a good one, even if it was bad. So yeah, that's just my little.
Most definitely. You want to throw anything out?
I'm kind of just piggybacking off of him. I always told my children, it's a 50% chance you could do better than me, or you can go and do worse than me. So, set the bar higher than me. Set the bar high. If I pave a way for you, then I'm not saying you got to take that same road, but at least try to, be better.
I love that honesty that you have with your kids, because that's some dialogue that a lot of us avoid.
Man, I can't avoid it because my parents in some ways wasn't honest with me. And that's a lot of hurt that I had. Like, hey, you could have just been honest. You could have just told me that. So now it's just, I get straight to the point with them. Like, hey, what you doing? Oh, that's what you on? All right, I'm going to let life teach you that one. I'm going to tell you what the result can be, but I'm going to let life show you, because we can save them. We can try to save them, but my kids, I can say that stove hot, they still gonna touch it. Hey, I told you it was hot. Come on, let me patch it up for you. You know what I mean? But hey, honesty, that's what I needed in my childhood, so that's what I give them. Straight up. I be straight up. Like, you want it? You ready for it? Here it go. And
yeah, that's I don't know. That's pretty tough, bro.
Yeah, it is.
I got girls. I will say a beautiful thing about girls, bro. They hold you accountable, big time. Don't say you gonna do nothing,
And don't do
And
it.
do not do it. My 14-year-old be on me. And then just, I mean, yeah, bro. That's been a roller coaster. I mean, from her living with me and starting a period here,
Oh,
and her
yeah.
mom across the country, you know, she getting caught watching porn at 9. How I'm supposed to handle it? Bro, what?
Yeah.
As a dad?
That's nasty.
bro, yeah, like that, those moments with your kids, and you talking about affecting you. Mine now is affecting my relationships. Yeah. So yeah, it's real, man.
And like you spoke to about girls,
Yeah, they different.
biological kids, I got 2 boys. But these 2 girls came into my life from a relationship. And when I tell you that's a whole nother
very
dynamic
different.
right there from boys, like these little girls are affectionate. They call, hey, Will, you want to play Uno and you want, and my face be lit up. You
Yep.
know, I walk in the room and then, hey, Will, and this, again, I'm not used to affection. So it's, hey, you okay.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize, oh, I kind of like this. This is cool. Now I'm looking at them little boys like, ungrateful bastards,
Yeah.
And y'all don't even give your dad the, how was work or,
Right.
what's been going on? How you feeling? And I've had the conversation with my son before. I said, man, you don't never check on your dad. I pay your cell phone bill. I'll call you sometimes you don't even answer. This fool said, do I have to? Ooh, you talking about wanting to pull him through that phone and just say, I'm going to kill you, boy. Like, Jesus. So the girls are definitely something
Well, that's the
different.
reason why I'm so real, because I have all girls. And it's some stuff that I wish my dad would have sat down and told me.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, let me tell you, because I don't want the streets to tell you. Let me tell you my experience. And I'm an open book with them. They ask me a lot of stuff. I'll be like, oh, hold on, give me a few hours for that conversation. Let me get prepared for that. So, no, them girls is different.
That's some real stuff right there. So both of you are 2 amazing chefs. I want to ask a question to you both. Is cooking therapy for you all?
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Did y'all bring anything?
I brought some pound cakes.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
did. Look,
I don't see my brother man saying nothing, so I
Yeah,
always
you got
knew you was my favorite.
See, that's crazy.
I always knew you was my favorite.
I bought some gift cards you can purchase.
Purchase. I definitely appreciate that. But no, I have supported the both of you all. I love the work that you both are doing. I love the food. I always, put it out to everybody. And both times that I bought from you all, well, I bought, several times, but I did a big brunch with you. There was nobody that was like, nah, I could pass on. Like, they loved it. I even got one of them that your chicken is the shit to them. Like, they let it be known. When I have an event, I need his chicken. So then I had a podcast episode where you gave me the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. Everybody, my cameraman right there, the sauce, whatever that sauce was that you had, they was fucking that sauce up. So I definitely love the work that y'all doing. I hope people continue to support what y'all doing. Please shout y'all businesses out so we don't give anybody an excuse as to why, I didn't know, or any of that kind of stuff. So can we start with you, my brother?
Bro, okay. Yeah, well, first of all, I appreciate that. My business is located at 3931 Main Street. That's in East Chicago, Indiana, in the harbor. Yeah, Midwest Eats by Chef Jared Blevins. Y'all come check me out, man. I'm open on the weekends. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we do a lot of pop-ups and events, man. Y'all just tap in. We got a lot of dope stuff going on. A lot of good food, a lot of good vibes. Yeah, check me out.
I love it. You, lady?
So, my business is Virtuous Eating and Catering. You can check me out on Facebook and Instagram. I do have a cafe opening. Give me about 3 weeks or so. I don't want to put a date on it yet. To open, it's at 123 West 86th Avenue in Maryville, Indiana. So, yeah, I'm excited about that.
I'm praying sellouts for the both of y'all. Sellouts. Whatever the special is that particular day, praying sellout. So if you're viewing this You got the information. Support. Support comes in many ways. You can go, purchase the food, share whatever you see.
Yeah.
Tell a friend of a friend. Tell a coworker. All of it counts. Like, there's so many ways to support. So, and let's get out of the mindset, because I want to throw this out. I know y'all got to experience this. Let's get out of the mindset that because I know them, oh, they straight. But yet you want top-notch stuff out of somebody. Like, you will go across town to go support somebody else, pay full price and everything. But because I know him, like, yeah, I know you're going to I've never asked anybody for a discount. When you
me
give me
neither.
the price,
Send it
I
right
pay
over.
what
Yeah.
the price is.
Yep.
Now, if I just can't do it, then
Yeah, at the
I don't waste
time,
your time
yeah.
to say, well, okay, that's a little out of my league. But the price is the price, man.
Yeah, most
like,
definitely.
Literally, I shouted my boy out on the last episode that I did from season 1, letting it be known, because it was some real stuff that I said. Now that I know you do food too, we go crazy over Turkey Leg Hut and all these different places, Roof Chris and all this. Amazing places, cool. But why is it that we can't make your restaurant the exact same thing? You can't tell me y'all food don't taste just as good. Like, I've had it. Come on.
Yeah.
Support. So I'm praying sellouts for the both of y'all.
Appreciate it.
Want to shout out Simple Scrubs Cleaning. You need your cleaning done, COVID sanitizing. Make sure you go to Simple Scrubs. You need move in, move out cleaning. We take care of that as well. Construction cleaning. People in there sanding them walls down, getting your stuff dirty and nasty. Simple Scrub Cleaning. No problem. You need your quote, go online, get everything that you need. Simple Scrub Cleaning. Anything else y'all want to throw out there? Y'all good?
Nah, bro, I'm good. I got it off.
Well, I definitely appreciate y'all coming, being open and honest, because a lot of times when people give their story or whatever's going on, a lot of times people got to think like, shit, am I going to get backlash? Is family members going to feel how they feel?
Yeah.
So
It
for
is
y'all
what
to
it
be
is,
open
yeah.
and honest the way y'all were and expose this information, I definitely appreciate it. If nobody else, I want to let y'all know I appreciate it. And I want to say, since both of you are first-time guests on here, the Thought Provoking Podcast is my profile, but it's our platform. So I always want to leave the door open for you all to come back, share more experiences, perspectives on the show. Look forward to having y'all back. Hopefully y'all enjoyed yourself on here. Hit that subscribe button. And also, folks that want to donate to the Thought Provoking Podcast, you can hit the Cash App at Thought Provoking 88. We out.